When you wake up in the morning, before you reach for your phone, before you let the noise of the world in, take a moment to remind yourself of something powerful. I am grateful for this new day. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you, it is about shifting the entire lens through which you see your life. When you wake up and immediately recognize the gift of being alive, of breathing, of having another chance to try again, everything else that follows carries a different kind of energy. You see, most people start their mornings rushing, already stressed, already thinking about what's missing, what's wrong, or what they need to fight through. But when you begin your day in gratitude, you place yourself in a position of abundance. You begin from fullness, not lack. Think about it, every single day is a new opportunity. Yesterday is gone, its mistakes, its victories, its burdens, done. Tomorrow hasn't arrived yet, but today, this very moment, is a chance you've been given freely. When you say to yourself, I am grateful for this new day, you are reminding your mind to notice the small miracles. The sunlight breaking through the window, the sound of your heartbeat, the people you still have in your life. Gratitude pulls you out of the trap of comparison and the cycle of complaining. It roots you in appreciation, and when you appreciate, life expands. And here's the truth, gratitude is magnetic. When you cultivate it deeply, more things come into your life to be grateful for. You attract opportunities, people, and experiences because you are no longer blinded by negativity. Even challenges look different when you're grateful, because instead of seeing them as punishment, you begin to see them as lessons, as stepping stones to your own growth. So every morning, say it with intention, not as empty words but as a commitment. I am grateful for this new day. Let that gratitude guide your first thoughts, your first actions, and your first steps out into the world. Because the way you start your morning sets the tone for everything that follows, and there is no better way to begin than with a heart full of thanks. Every morning when you wake up, remind yourself of this truth. I am in control of my thoughts, my energy, and my actions. It's so easy to forget this because the world constantly tries to pull our attention in 100 directions. The phone rings, the notifications pile up, the responsibilities feel heavy, and suddenly it feels like life is controlling us instead of the other way around. But the reality is, no matter what is happening outside, you always have power inside. You decide what thoughts you allow to stay in your mind. You decide where your energy flows. You decide how you respond to whatever comes your way. Most people don't realize how much of their day is dictated by automatic reactions. Someone cuts them off in traffic, and they carry that anger for hours. A co-worker says something negative, and their mood spirals down. But when you begin your morning affirming that you are in control, you step into the day with awareness instead of autopilot. You catch yourself when negative thoughts creep in, and you replace them with better ones. You notice when your energy starts to leak into frustration or worry, and you choose to redirect it into focus, calm, or determination. It doesn't mean you won't face difficulties. Life will always present challenges, but how you meet them makes the difference. If you believe you are powerless, then you'll crumble under pressure. But if you remind yourself every morning that you own your thoughts and actions, then nothing outside of you can truly dominate your state of mind. That is where real strength lives, not in controlling the world, but in mastering yourself. Imagine the difference this creates in your day. Instead of waking up dreading what might happen, you wake up empowered to shape how you respond. Instead of being drained by the noise around you, you protect and direct your energy toward the things that matter most. And instead of feeling stuck in old patterns, you begin to break them simply because you've chosen to take ownership of yourself. So say it with clarity, with conviction. Every single morning, I am in control of my thoughts, my energy, and my actions. And when you live from that place of inner authority, the outside world can shake, but you will remain unshaken. Every single morning, you need to remind yourself of something that most people struggle to believe. I am worthy of success, happiness, and peace. Worthiness is where it all begins. Because if deep inside you don't believe you deserve these things, then no matter how hard you work, no matter how many opportunities appear, you will find a way to push them away. The truth is, the world often tries to convince us that we are not enough, that we need to look a certain way, achieve a certain status, or gain approval before we can feel valuable. But worthiness is not something you earn. It is something you already carry within you. Think about how many times in life people sabotage themselves because they don't feel worthy. They enter relationships where they settle for less than they deserve. They avoid pursuing dreams because they think they are not talented enough or smart enough. They let fear convince them that peace, happiness, or success belongs to someone else but not to them. That mindset keeps them stuck, not because the opportunities aren't there, but because their self-talk tells them they're not deserving of it. When you begin your day with the affirmation that you are worthy, you dismantle that inner lie. You give yourself permission to receive what life is offering you. Worthiness is not arrogance. It's not about believing you're better than anyone else. It's about standing tall in the understanding that you, just like every other person, are deserving of joy, of growth, of fulfillment, and of peace. And when you believe that deeply, you start to make different choices. You say no to the things that drain you, and yes to the things that align with you. You step forward into challenges with confidence because you know you belong in the arena of life just as much as anyone else. Every morning, remind yourself that your worth is not measured by your mistakes, not diminished by your struggles, and not defined by your past. It is a constant truth that lives within you. And the more you affirm it, the more you begin to live it. So say it with your chest, say it until you believe it. I am worthy of success, happiness, and peace. Every day is a fresh chance, but too many people wake up still carrying the weight of yesterday. The mistakes they made, the arguments they had, the opportunities they missed, they drag it all into today, and then wonder why they feel heavy before the day has even begun. That is why it's so important to affirm each morning, I release yesterday and embrace today fully. The past has already done its work. It has taught you, it has shaped you, it has left behind its lessons. But it does not need to live rent-free in your mind any longer. When you hold on to what has already happened, you're not only chained to what you cannot change, you're also blind to what is right in front of you. The truth is, no amount of replaying old conversations or regretting old choices will rewrite them. But you can decide, in this moment, that yesterday is not the author of today's story. You can choose to step forward with a clean page. That is freedom. It doesn't mean ignoring the past or pretending it didn't happen. It means acknowledging it, accepting it, and then releasing it so it no longer controls you. Forgive yourself for the errors. Let go of the grudges. Celebrate the wins, but don't cling to them either. Because whether it was pain or pleasure, it's already over. The gift is now, and the power is in what you do with it. Think about how different your day feels when you approach it this way. Instead of dragging around yesterday's disappointments, you wake up lighter, open, ready to experience what's ahead. Instead of repeating the same old cycle of dwelling on the past, you redirect your attention to the present moment where life is actually happening. And instead of missing today, because you're still staring backward, you embrace the opportunities that are right here, waiting for you. So every morning, remind yourself to drop the baggage. Release yesterday. Release the pain, the regrets, even the pride that makes you cling to what's already done. Then step into today with fresh energy, clear eyes, and an open heart. Because only when you fully embrace today can you create the life you're truly meant to live. Every morning, remind yourself of this truth: I am stronger than my challenges and wiser than my fears. Life will test you. That's guaranteed. There will be moments when obstacles appear bigger than your capacity to handle them. And fear will whisper that you're not ready, not capable, not enough. But the reality is, you have already survived every single challenge you've ever faced. Think about that for a moment. Every storm, every hardship, every setback, you're still here. That alone is proof that strength already lives within you. The mind often exaggerates fear, making problems seem larger than life. Fear tells you stories of failure before you even begin, but when you affirm that you are wiser than your fears, you take back the authority. Fear is only a signal, a messenger. It points to areas where growth is waiting. Wisdom is recognizing that fear does not define you, and it does not have to direct your actions. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, you can let it sharpen your awareness and push you forward. Strength is not about never feeling pain or never facing difficulty. Strength is about standing up again when life knocks you down, about moving forward even when the path is uncertain. And wisdom is not about knowing everything. It's about trusting yourself enough to learn, to adapt, to grow through what you go through. When you start your day with this affirmation, you remind yourself that no matter what lies ahead, you are already equipped to meet it. Imagine the shift this creates in your day. Instead of dreading challenges, you begin to see them as opportunities to prove your strength. Instead of running from fear, you look it in the eye and use it as fuel. And instead of doubting yourself, you lean into the wisdom that every difficulty is a lesson, every setback a stepping stone. So when you wake up and say these words with conviction, I am stronger than my challenges and wiser than my fears, you set the tone for courage, resilience, and growth. And with that mindset, there is nothing you cannot face. Every morning, speak this truth into your life. I am becoming the best version of myself every single day. Too often, people get caught up in the idea that transformation has to be instant, that success must arrive overnight, or that if they are not already where they want to be, they are somehow failing. But real growth doesn't work that way. Becoming the best version of yourself is not about waking up one morning completely changed. It's about showing up, step by step, with small consistent actions that, over time, create a completely new reality. When you affirm this to yourself, you shift the focus from perfection to progress. You no longer judge yourself by how far you have left to go. You honor yourself for how far you've already come. Every small improvement counts. Waking up earlier, choosing patience instead of anger, practicing discipline when it's inconvenient. These little victories accumulate. And the beauty is, you don't need to be the final version of yourself today. All you need to do is keep becoming, keep evolving, keep moving forward. This mindset also takes the pressure off. Instead of criticizing yourself for mistakes or setbacks, you can recognize them as part of the process. Failure stops being something to fear. It becomes evidence that you are stretching, that you are learning, that you are on the path. The best version of you is not built in comfort. It's built in the daily practice of rising a little higher than you did yesterday. Think about it. When you believe you are becoming, you allow yourself to grow with patience. You stop comparing your journey to others because their path is not yours. You understand that greatness is not one giant leap. It's thousands of small, intentional steps. And each morning when you repeat this affirmation, you program your mind to look for opportunities to grow, to notice the moments where you can choose better, and to embrace the steady process of becoming. So say it with belief, say it with confidence, say it until it sinks into your bones. I am becoming the best version of myself every single day.